Hello everyone! You didn't hope to see me, right? Sorry for being away for so long. I've been with a lot of work lately and I couldn't take the time either to read or to film the books that I wanted to film, the videos that I wanted to film. So luckily all the impending work has been submitted, so I have a few days off and I can actually film all the books that all the videos that I wanted to talk about books. But maybe you don't know me. Hi, my name is Clara and I'm the owner of this bilingual channel, The Ink Path, where I talk about books in English and in Spanish. Obviously you're in an English kind of video, but I normally kind of organize the playlist regarding, reviews, book hauls and stuff like that in terms of language. So you can either see this review in Spanish, which is already been filmed and posted, and in English, like this one. I haven't been filming because, as I said, my work had me a little bit busy and I wasn't in the mood for reading, because as a PhD student I have to read a lot of stuff, I have to review a lot of stuff, and I wasn't very in the mood. But now I have discovered that so far in the year I only read 10 books for like the whole year. I've been reading articles and stuff like that, but according to Goodreads you can only read proper books, so articles don't count. So far I've read like 10 books. According to my Goodreads goal, which is 30 books at the end of the year, I am 9 or 8 books behind, but I don't care about that. I read, from those 10 books, I've read 8 for fun and 2 for work. The 2 for work are related to social media and community, online community. So those are not going to be included in the reviews. I'm not going to review those because those are for work, but if you want me to chop a little bit of them in a separated video, I can gladly do so. However, I found out that I didn't actually review any of the books of this year that I've read this year, and I want to start breaking that law. So I want to start talking about the books that I read. And the first book that I read, according to my Goodreads profile, is Imperfecta Armonia by Paula Gallego. Imperfecta armonia is written by the Spanish young author Paula Gallego, who I met through Twitter, and we were discussing, I think it was other books and stuff like that. And I haven't noticed that she was actually an author. And one day in January, I don't know why, she posted on Twitter that her book was actually free in Amazon for a couple of days. One of her books, I think it was the first one that she published, and I really wanted to read her stuff, so I decided to give it a go, and I keep it on my Kindle. That's why I don't have it physically with me, but I will post a cover soon. As you may probably tell, this book is only published in Spanish, but I hope you enjoy the review, and I will tell you later on in the review if you can actually read it and for what kind of level it is written for. So let's start. So, as I said, Imperfecta armonia is the book written by Paula Gallego, and if I have to translate it, literally translate, the title would be Imperfect Harmony, and it's about a girl called Mel who lives with her aunt because her familiar situation is not good, and she is also going through very serious issues of bullying at the school. She is not a very kind of extrovert person, mainly because of all that matter with her family and the bullying and stuff. But one day a young man, a teenager like her, appears. Well, he's a little bit older, but a young man appears at her house he is named Jack, and she knows that Jack is only visible to her. She is the only one that can actually see Jack. Jack has a problem though. He doesn't remember anything about his life, and he doesn't know why he has appeared to Mel in Mel's house. The thing is that because he doesn't remember what or how was his life, he also has this feeling of being linked to Mel somehow. So the first option, what that you would expect, is that he's a ghost, right? A little bit like ghost whisper and stuff like that. No, he's not a ghost, although he sometimes appears like it. Mel and Jack will develop a friendship and a connection that they haven't had with anyone before. And as Jack and Mel get closer, and maybe sometimes sliding a little bit far from friendship, a little bit far from that, the issues that they both have start to resolve, in the sense that, for example, Mel has to deal with the kind of high school issues, and Jack will be there supporting her in the same way that Mel will try to discover what happens with Jack. So this was the plot. Now we're going to talk about the elements that I love the most. I think the biggest point, the biggest positive feature that this novel has is the development of the characters. Being a YA novel, it's very common to have this kind of arc of a character of development, but this one is important because our main character Mel has a lot of issues at the present time, at the beginning of the novel, that bother her a lot. So through Jack friendship and closeness, she learns how to not only talk about the high school event, the high school situation, and ask for help when she needs to, but also to love herself and to admit issues from her past that harm her, and being open to express what she feels regarding herself or other people. But also she is confident enough to go out and to meet new people, which is a different situation that she never felt before. Sometimes that has a positive outcome, sometimes has a negative outcome, and that's why we met a kind of a variety of sidekicks, of side characters that encounter her through her kind of arc of development. Some of these side characters are more fleshed out than others, and in the meantime, while she develops as a character, she gets closer to Jack, and she is trying to uncover, as I said, the mystery of his kind of incorporeal presence. And I love how both stories weave and intertwine. And probably what I like the least is actually that I feel that the story needs more pages. The story needs more development, in the sense that some issues are like very quickly resolved, which I understand why it's done like that, because it's not the main issue. But for example, the mystery for me is resolved very, very easily, in the sense that we could have the amount of real problems like the bullying and things like that, and have a more complicated mystery plot regarding Jack. This is not to say that I didn't enjoy it, it's just that I wish they had more space to breathe that kind of plot, and also more space to develop a more intimate relationship, even though it's intimate enough in the space of pages that we have already. But the good thing about this is that this novel has the cutest ending possible. that actually tells you why they are both linked in a really, really nice, beautiful way. I wasn't expecting to like this story in the way I did it, mainly because it touched elements I wasn't expecting, as the bullying, which is a very, very personal experience in my case, and I wasn't aware of its present in the novel, but I went through it very well, considering. But there were other issues regarding Mel that involve some kind of trigger warning topics such as self-harm and other kind of issues. I point out the self-harm element because I wasn't expecting that, and even though that gives Mel another kind of layer to her character and another kind of aspect of herself to overcome, I'm not going to say it's extremely graphic, but it has some kind of graphic content, and I wasn't aware, and at the beginning it led me a little bit off guard, and I felt a little bit kind of disturbed by it, but it's very small element of the plot, but I want to say that there's a self-harm trigger warning there, just to let you know. But other than that, the book was brilliant. The book was great, and I feel like someone with an intermediate level of Spanish will be able to catch it, because the language and the vocabulary used is very teenager related words, so it's not very complicated. There are no so kind of wordy descriptions or stuff like that. So if you have an intermediate level of Spanish that you normally could read, I think you could normally read this one. Having said that, this is it. This is the end. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next week. Bye.